We are just getting some breaking news, and I told you we were closely watching the Supreme Court, and this just coming in as Melissa was talking, and this is a major blow to the president. The Supreme Court ruling that President Trump exceeded his authority when imposing sweeping tariffs using a law reserved for a national emergency. That law, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which was signed into law by President Carter from here in Georgia back in the 70s. So the justices decided in a 6-3 decision that the president's aggressive approach to tariffs on products entering the U.S. is not permitted under that law. So it is a setback from the president. We should note this does not affect all of President Trump's tariffs. For example, the steel and aluminum that he used using different laws, those will remain in place. But this really upends his tariffs in a couple different categories. One is country by country or reciprocal tariffs, which ranged as high as 34% for China to 10% baseline for the rest of the world. The other is a 25% tariff that he imposed on some goods from Canada, China, and Mexico for what the administration said was their failure to curb the flow of fentanyl. So those tariffs ruled a no-go by the Supreme Court this morning, and you see how the stock market is reacting. You see the bump right at 10 a.m. when the Supreme Court dropped this decision, though really not much of a bump at all. The Dow up some 70 points right now. We will look for reaction from President Trump as we speak right now. He is meeting with governors in the White House for the annual governor's breakfast. We heard him speak about 30 minutes ago at the start of that breakfast, but then he shooed the cameras out of there, and then he kind of convened with the governors behind closed doors, Reams.
Yeah, we're getting some analysis here from our team at NBC News. There are alternatives that apparently aides to the president have already been looking at for if and when this ruling came down. There's at least 2 other laws that he could try to use to have these tariffs that are now been ruled essentially unimposable to be able to try to bring those back. Uncertain if that is what his plan is going to be today. I'm monitoring the feeds right now to see if we can get any live reaction from him. As soon as we will, I will bring that to you. Nothing yet currently, though.
Certainly not going to necessarily come as a surprise to the White House. They knew this was being considered by the court. So to Ream's point, they perhaps started looking at other alternatives, a worst case, best case scenario type situation. Well, they just got the worst case scenario for the White House with the Supreme Court ruling against the president here. And again, markets reacting. In a way, Reams, this is also going to affect consumers in a way. A lot of times businesses pass along the cost to consumer. I mean, it's economics 101. So could we get a little more money back in our wallet is the question.
I'm not an economist. From our previous reporting over the last year of this debate over tariffs, I'm uncertain. We've previously reported that a lot of the larger companies here have been particularly focused on making sure that they don't pass along those costs initially. They're getting a lot of pushback from the White House on passing along those costs.
Right.
So it's uncertain if what's going to happen there. I know a lot of these major conglomerates have been kind of eating those costs to keep both consumers happy and the administration happy. Uncertain what is going to happen there. Some other analysis coming in on this decision. This also appears to be the only decision that the Supreme Court will be bringing down today.
Okay.
I believe this is yes. Roberts, the Chief Justice
Right.
Roberts, wrote the opinion here today, reading in part based on 2 words separated by 16 others in the IEEPA. Roberts writes, regulate and importation. The president asserts independent powers to impose tariffs on imports from any country of any product at any rate for any amount of time. The Chief Justice writing, those words cannot bear such weight. So I think that is probably the crux of the argument that the Supreme Court was looking at of that regulation and importing of that. So we're going to get a lot more on this coming up.
Chief Justice John Roberts, a conservative on the heavily conservative court. I believe the decision, Reams, was 6-3. Have they said the 3 who dissented? I have not been able to find that yet.
I have not been able to see that.
It will be interesting.
I am seeing a concurring opinion by Gorsuch. So that would mean that he was one of those 6. His concurrence was 46 pages long. That appears to be long in the Supreme Court's mind, according to analysis that I'm reading right now.
Very interesting. We will keep another eye on this. And again, it is breaking news. We bring information like this to you as it happens. That big news coming out of D.C. right now, and the market's reacting.